Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak to you today about a simple yet powerful truth. Let go, trust, and you will overcome. There are many of you here today carrying burdens that weigh you down. Fear grips your heart, doubt clouds your mind. You feel trapped in a storm that will never end. But I have good news for you. God is in control. He sees you, He knows you, and He is calling you to trust Him. We hold on so tightly to our struggles, thinking we must fix everything ourselves. But let me tell you, my friends, God never intended for you to carry that burden alone. The Bible tells us in Proverbs 3:5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. That means letting go of our need for control and placing our faith in the one who holds all things together. When you let go, you are not giving up, you are giving over. You are placing your fears, your worries, your pain into the hands of the Almighty. And when you trust Him, He will lead you through. Oh, I know it's not easy. The storms of life rage, the winds howl, the enemy whispers lies that you are alone. But listen to me. God is still on the throne. He is bigger than your fear, stronger than your doubt, and greater than any obstacle you face. When Peter stepped out of the boat to walk on water, he walked not by sight but by faith. But the moment he took his eyes off Jesus, he began to sink. Some of you are sinking today because your eyes have drifted from the Savior. You've been looking at the waves instead of the one who calms the storm. My friend, fix your eyes on Jesus and He will lift you up. You may have been battling sickness, but let me tell you, God is a healer. You may be struggling with addiction, but God is a chain breaker. You may feel lost, but God is a way maker. Nothing is impossible for the Lord. And hear me, victory is not in your power, but in His. The cross of Jesus Christ has already overcome every battle you will ever face. He has conquered sin. He has conquered death, and He can conquer the trials in your life today. So I ask you right now, are you ready to let go? Are you ready to trust Him? Are you ready to overcome? Because when you do, you will experience a peace that surpasses all understanding, a strength beyond your own, a victory that is already won. Come to Him today, lay it all down at the foot of the cross, and watch how He leads you through. Strength is not found in our ability to control every situation, carry every burden, or rely solely on our own wisdom. Instead, real strength emerges when we recognize our limitations and surrender our struggles to God. When we lay our worries, fears, and anxieties at His feet, we are not giving up. We are choosing to trust in His power rather than our own. Surrendering to God does not mean weakness. It means acknowledging that He is greater than any challenge we face. It is in letting go of our need for control that we find peace, courage, and resilience. God's strength is made perfect in our weakness, and when we rely on Him, we are empowered to move forward with faith and confidence. True freedom and strength come when we stop striving in our own might and allow God to work in and through us. Surrendering is not about defeat, it is about stepping into a greater power, one that carries us beyond what we could ever achieve alone. Fear has a way of gripping our hearts, clouding our judgment, and holding us back from the life God intends for us. It whispers doubts, magnifies uncertainties, and keeps us trapped in a cycle of worry and hesitation. Fear feeds on the unknown, convincing us that we are not strong enough, capable enough, or worthy enough to step forward in faith. But faith is the antidote to fear. Faith is the unwavering trust that God is in control. Even when circumstances seem uncertain, it is the belief that He walks beside us, guiding our steps and providing for our needs. Faith breaks the chains of fear, setting our hearts free to embrace God's promises with confidence and peace. When we choose faith over fear, we refuse to be ruled by anxiety or discouraged by challenges. Instead, we stand firm, knowing that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind, 2 Timothy 1:7. Faith empowers us to move forward even when we cannot see the whole path, trusting that God's plans are greater than our fears. Fear may try to hold us back, but faith propels us forward. When we surrender our fears to God and choose to trust Him, we find strength, courage, and the freedom to live boldly in His purpose. In life, we often find ourselves waiting for answers, breakthroughs, healing, or the fulfillment of a dream. During these seasons, it's easy to grow impatient, discouraged, or even doubt God's plan. However, what may seem like a delay to us is never a denial from Him. God's timing is always perfect, even when it doesn't align with our own expectations. His wisdom surpasses our understanding, and He sees the bigger picture we cannot. Sometimes He delays a blessing because He is preparing us to receive it. Other times He withholds something we desire because He has something far greater in store. What we perceive as a setback is often a setup for something better. The Bible reminds us in Ecclesiastes 3:11 that God makes everything beautiful in its time. This means that every closed door, every unanswered prayer, and every unexpected turn is part of His divine orchestration. When we trust in His perfect timing, we can rest in the assurance that He is working all things together for our good. Romans 8:28. Instead of becoming frustrated in the waiting, we can use these moments to grow in faith, deepen our relationship with Him, and prepare for what He has in store. God is never late, nor is He early. He is always right on time. And when His plan unfolds, we will see that it was far greater than anything we could have imagined. Life can be difficult, and there are moments when we feel overwhelmed, abandoned, or lost in the darkness of our struggles. Whether we are facing heartache, uncertainty, or fear, it is easy to believe the lie that we are alone in our pain. But the truth is, we are never truly alone. God is always with us, walking beside us even in our darkest valleys. Psalm 23:04 reminds us, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." No matter how deep the sorrow, how heavy the burden, or how uncertain the path, God's presence never leaves us. He stands beside us in our struggles, offering comfort, strength, and guidance. His love is unwavering, His grace is sufficient, and His promises are true. When we feel isolated or afraid, we can find peace in knowing that He holds us in His hands. He understands our pain, He hears our cries, and He walks with us through every trial. Even when we don't feel His presence, He is there. He is the light in the darkness, the anchor in the storm, and the steady hand that leads us forward. No matter what you are going through, take heart. You are never alone, for God is always with you. Life is full of challenges, storms that shake our confidence, waves of uncertainty that threaten to pull us under, and obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. In these moments, fear can overwhelm us, making us feel as if we are drowning in doubt, worry, and despair. But faith is the bridge that carries us over these troubled waters, giving us the strength to keep moving forward. When Peter stepped out of the boat to walk on water toward Jesus, he did something incredible. He defied the storm by fixing his eyes on Christ. But the moment he allowed fear to take over, he began to sink. Matthew 14:29 through 30. The same is true for us. When we trust in God completely, he holds us up, guiding us safely through life's challenges. But when we focus on our fears instead of his promises, we begin to falter. Faith does not mean we will never face difficulties, but it does mean that we will not be overcome by them. Trusting in God allows us to rise above our struggles, knowing that he is in control. He will never let us sink, for his love and power are greater than any storm we face. No matter how rough the waters may seem, faith is the bridge that leads us to safety. If we keep our eyes on Jesus and trust in his plan, he will carry us through to the other side. Worry has a way of creeping into our hearts, filling our minds with what-ifs and worst-case scenarios. It drains our joy, steals our peace, and keeps us stuck in a cycle of fear over things that may never even happen. When we worry, we are borrowing trouble from a future we cannot control, carrying burdens we were never meant to bear. But God calls us to let go of anxiety and trust in him. Matthew 6:34 reminds us, "Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own." God does not want us to live in fear of the unknown. Instead, he invites us to rest in the assurance that he holds our future in his hands. Worrying does not change our circumstances. It only robs us of the peace and strength we need to face them. When we surrender our anxieties to God, we shift our focus from our problems to his promises. He is our provider, our protector, and our guide. He knows what lies ahead, and he will equip us for whatever comes our way. Rather than carrying the weight of tomorrow's troubles, we are called to trust in the one who is already there. Let go of worry, embrace faith, and walk in the peace of knowing that God's plan for you is good, and his love will sustain you every step of the way. Life is filled with storms, seasons of hardship, pain, uncertainty, and loss. These moments can feel overwhelming, as if the darkness will never lift and the waves will never subside. But no trial is permanent. Just as every storm in nature eventually passes, so too will the struggles we face. In the midst of difficulty, it's easy to believe that our pain will last forever, but God reminds us that trouble is only temporary. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." The challenges we endure are not without purpose. God is using them to strengthen us, refine us, and prepare us for greater things ahead. No matter how fierce the storm, the sun will shine again. The same God who calms the wind and the waves is with you in your trial. He is working behind the scenes, bringing healing, restoration, and new beginnings. What feels like a setback is often a setup for something greater. Hold on to faith, even when the skies are dark. Victory is ahead, and God's promises never fail. The storm will pass, and when it does, you will emerge stronger, wiser, and closer to Him than ever before. Keep trusting. Brighter days are coming.